Lex and Nate. Here it is. Queasy, Truelex. Don't forget how close these guys are in their drop spots to each other. Queasy and Truelex kind of taking something that we see in NAE. Zayt and Saf have been trying to encroach on this extra henchman spot in between Holly Hedges and Sweaty Sands, where Andalex and Nate are looming.
And Snagged is there. He might look for a chance to come and intervene, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And if they do choose to end second place early, they could go straight to Sweaty Sands after this, after a quick loot at Holly Hedges. But, man, anything can happen in this game. They're already getting shot off. I think that's just by henchmen, though. Queasy's going to get his first chest over. Loot up. And we're prepping ourselves for an intense Game 6, the finale of Europe, early on in the morning, late on at night for these guys.
By the way, with that win, I think Stompy and Aqua have now pushed themselves to be the only team to have a win in all stages of all finals and heats. And Alex and Nate have pushed that one team who was here with them completely off. And so now they have Sweaty Sands to themselves. And quickly, I think, are going to want to push over towards where Queasy and Truelex actually lie in wait. I think they might. Yes, look. They're leaving Sweaty Sands. Instantly going towards this fishing house, where I think they can grab something else. Mitro and CRR are contested, but they do not care. It was against Drobin and Bobo, who won one of the heats. But man, as desperate times call for desperate measures, as you know what Mitro and CRR are doing. There's even another team. Putro and Siberia are here as well.
I mean, that's the second front war, right? It's all about getting to the top 25, getting out of the bottom, having some respect on your name, or as much as you can grab of it. Stompy and Aqua at the Grotto, I believe, are going to be completely uncontested for this again. Up in the vault.
Oh, no. This is the worst position to be, stuck in the back of the vault, and they're going to try to hold on. Actually, they're going to fight it. Putro takes out CRR, and we've seen this fight before, by the way, in warm-ups. This was one of the teams that was here. Now Mitro in the 1 versus 2. He can make this work. He can make this happen. He's done it before. He did it in warm-ups, and he's doing it again. He takes out Siberia, and now they trade minis. Actually, he does only have bandages. And the possible revive is here, too. Possible revives for both teams. Does CRR have minis? Does CRR have shields? The revive is better and faster for Mitro. There, he finally sticks it on the other side. And what do they have on the inventories to add to this fight?
Wow. I would assume they tried to just finish off and end those games, but I think CRR knows, or Mitro knows, that that vault has shields, that vault has health. That being said, why give that shield and health off? I think the best chance they would have to win that fight is Mitro just going straight in for that 50-50. Now they're going to be at a disadvantage. Helplessly fishing for fish. Don't even find it off their first grab, and now they're on the back ends. I feel like Putro and Siberia are both going to have a big buff. I believe bandage cannons can also spawn in from that chest.
I wonder if this is this like a I don't know, man. Both these teams clearly don't have too much to play for anymore in this grand finals, besides trying to get towards that top 25. But is this like a play for the future? Is this a play for other tournaments to come? Whether they're community or whatever, right? Is Shark going to still be here in Season 2? And is it going to be a main point of contention where they're like, hey, I actually want this. I still want to be fighting for this. Because at this point, I don't know. To contest Mitro and CRR, again, you're not doing anything in this tournament because of how hard you're going to be fighting each other and how much you're going to lose going forward in the next stages of the game.
This is true. My only concern is if you're not fighting for this tournament right now, may as well just like not play this game at all, this game 6, because the best chance they would have was on that wall in the vault.
100%. Mr. Savage and iDrop look like they've cleared Pleasant Park too, unless Leo JT. Yeah, it looks like they just left early towards the bridge, possibly. I also want to make a correction, by the way, on that last stat that popped up. It's not just Stompy and Aqua. Stompy and Aqua actually joined the OCE duo of Gubaz and his partner as one of the teams to win a game in all in all stages of heats and grand finals that they played in this season of duos.
Winners are used to winning. And now I feel like every game 5 that Aqua has had in the grand finals has been won by Aqua. Right? From Worlds to Trios to now.
Yep.
He's the prophet.
Kiriachi and Letwick, we thought they were down and out. It's finally a good performance for them. They break the curse that they've had after winning their heats in both trios and squads. So possibly, when I compared them earlier to Bugha, it might be something to look forward to for Bugha and Stretched. Bad Sniper and Nyrox come back here into Lazy Lake. But also, Aqua finds himself an elimination over at the Grotto. A big team push here. From, I believe this is going to be Maestro and Styler. Yes, it is. And Nyrox already beamed, but Bad Sniper responds with a big shot. Maestro tried to all in, and Bad Sniper accepts that, says, nope, this is my elim. I'm getting my partner back up and into the game, and now time to heal. Is he on the loot? No, I don't actually see where Nyrox has run to.
This is a definite fight of pride because these guys are ready to just give it up, move on to a different spot, and try to play out the tournament now, finding their way back into Lazy Lake. And that's so unfortunate for Maestro and Styler because I believe they were one of those teams at that 20 to 28 point threshold who could have had a shot at even higher prize money and potentially even the first place slot if they had an insane game, but it's going to be hindered greatly early on. Already, around 31 people eliminated from the competition. The first time we see sub 40 duos alive in first zone, it's that game 6 effect. And this not only means that the games get a little bit more aggressive, it means that Bad Sniper and Nyrox, everyone that's left alive, has less of a chance to find these mid-game fights over and over again. And the people they will be fighting will be people who are warmed up or ready to go and possibly already won a few fights before as well.
No way is this about to happen. Queasy and Trulex are at Sweaty Sands, and Andalex and Nate are still there. And I'm not sure where Zone is, but Trulex and Queasy are looking for this fight, and they must know who is here. They must know how this all plays out. It's right outside of Zone, and Andalex and Nate, for whatever reason, have not moved in. Maybe they know the possibilities. Last time they fell because they were outside of Zone, a big tag onto Trulex as they try to make their way off of the beach, and they're going to have to spend a lot to get away from Andalex and Nate here.
And I believe that since it's a 1 to 2 point game for Nate and Andalex, if they even just get a single elim from this, they get pushed up. Trulex Queasy set so far back. And I feel like they finally understand the significance, both teams, because this is the first time I see Nate and Andalex giving up Hotel this fast, even with Zone coming in. In Game 6, we've seen it before when they're ahead. They still try to at least grief the spot for a fast finish for a few more damage tags, but they're playing close.
There's no way. Lechy and Wolfies were in a bush. No way. Lechy and Wolfies are pouncing from Weeping Woods on top of Andalex and Nate. And we've seen this story before from Wolfies at DreamHack.
And look,
as he lands on Andalex. Remember that. Andalex plays second at DreamHack for all because specifically Wolfies in that fight. What is going on?
You look at how fast Trulex and Queasy just get away from it, but are looking back, smiling at what's happening to these guys. And I think that Wolfies and Lechy are now permanently setting up above a hill, just waiting for these guys to move. This is a huge obstacle to overcome. If they do, they have 2 launch pads waiting as a reward, but Nate and Andalex, more so Endgame Kings, had a few issues earlier on in Games 1, I believe, getting off their spawn. This time, it's going to be the same, but they're moving over the same way that Trulex and Queasy got out. So these guys not only will be safe for the end game, but will be on the same side of the map, possibly using the same builds with each other as well.
Hopefully they can get there and break the line of sight. It looks like Wolfies and Lechy have given up on this engagement. And Nate and Andalex still clawing their way back in. They're able to farm a little bit. And they're going to even break line of sight and go even further, not white lining it up north on this one, just to avoid that possible threat. Man, that was crazy. That was one of the most dangerous teams mixed with first and second against each other. And thankfully, it did not go the way of a full-on fight where they lost a lot of materials, where they lost a lot of health, where they lost chances to win the game. But they still got teams in front of them, and Queasy and Trulex are one of them.
There's teams around as well. We're switching fast, but I believe that's Smudge all the way up top. Another team that could be volatile coming down, looking for some type of shots at that 10-0 point range. Letwick Kiriachi looking for their own spot. 18 points separates them in victory. So 7 elimination finish. If somehow Trulex, if somehow Nate don't find anything this game, it'll have to be more. Man, no one has any free opportunities. Steelix and Snagged getting to another Salty Springs fight. Andalex has his eyes on eye drop, man. Every single meeting.
Why does it feel like every single people that they run into are so dangerous? Eye drop is one of them. And in the background, it's Mitro. And he's lurking towards these houses. Every single one of these guys that they run into are Titans. And they're just going to barrel right through and hopefully find a path in. But man, every time I see a nameplate pop up, it's just like, oh my goodness.
And I feel like they're popping up side by side more often than any of the 5 games we've watched so far. Usually these guys have just a free run-in. We've tuned in with Sweaty Sands a little bit in games 3 and 4. Andalex taking shots. I don't think he knows who he's actually rattling the cage of, though.
But it's a cage of Mitro without a grappler, without a scar, by the way, off.
Yes.
So they can't, there's really no notices that Mitro could put out that would teach them or show them that this is the Shark player. Eye drop has gotten into Pleasant. That's why he was lurking in that box by himself outside his zone for a bit. He's going to pick up Mr. Savage and bring him back into the game. But then Letchi and Wolfies are in the path to get in. And look at this, a full box up as zone will start to overtake. But Mitro has really no chance, I think, as the RPGs plus the AUG spray, and he's over water too.
He might have a way to possibly influence their game still, though, because depending on where he moves to, depending how much time it takes to take out Mitro, someone else might roll up. But this fight, yes, is so individualized, so by its lonesome that they quickly pick it up. No one hears it, and they get to move on. Now, I believe, almost tied with Trulex and Queasy.
And don't forget the drop spot fight that went on in squads. And to put a cap on basically Chapter 2 so far in a nutshell, Andalex and Nate fought against Mitro, CRR, Falconly, and Kinzel in squads time and time again at Sweaty Sands. And Andalex clearly remembers as he takes the L on Mitro, who was by himself a shark at the start, but now just bait. As Andalex and Nate get another point on the board towards the win. And I think now also tie against Queasy and Trulex.
And everywhere they walk, people just looking at them. I feel like they know who's walking by.
This is the 3rd place team, by the way. They were at 30 points before this game started. And yes, this was the issue I was talking about for Mr. Savage and iDrop. So many teams right in front of them. Yes, the reboot was heard from everybody. Letchi and Wolfies was one of that team above, on top of that, but there's just more involved. Trulex and Queasy still moving northward, still moving towards dead side. And look at the names. They're still there. Kiriachi. Snappy in the background. And we know Andalex and Nate are up there. My goodness, is this north side of the zone going to be stacked, especially as we see 4th.
I'm curious to see exactly where Mexi and Verox are. This is that 3rd place team looking for shots, every single one. If they find them, will be so good. But now Nyrox and Bad Sniper are taken out of the competition as well. Raxo is the one who finds that. So he's now at 40 points, just 7 behind, trying to find a chance to get to the #1 spot. Their win condition, staying alive and being together, because every time they solo clutch out, they only get a few points of eliminations, never full placement. Leo J and Josh taken out by Rays. Boost themselves closer to the top 20 or the top 10. Here's Verox and Mexi. They're on the same side as everyone else in the top 10. Slightly more southern. And they're getting overtaken by who is the question?
By Trulex.
It's Queasy and Trulex.
Oh my goodness. Does the EU fruit tree keep on giving? My goodness. Queasy and Trulex just overtake Mexi and Verox. Not just in reality, but also symbolically, as they are at the top. I think now Andalex and Nate possibly have overtaken Queasy and Trulex, who lay right now at 47 points. Verox and Mexi, though, it looked like it was going to repeat the game one that they had. They had a good spot in 4th zone. They got 5th, and then they popped off from there. But now, Queasy and Trulex with 47 points on top of them, and Verox and Mexi lose any hope of doing anything from a 5th zone if they get it.
Everyone's already in so fast to this zone. There's no one kind of lingering outside. I think Analyx and Nate are the last ones to come in, so they might have a say at height. But there's already so many people so high. This base is actually empty.
Empty, yeah.
I feel like they'll have the intuition to know and see that. They do.
They RPG it just in case anyways, but they definitely know that this was not taken. Aqua and Stompy on the other side. You couldn't write. This is scripted. This is 100% scripted here in the grand finals of EU. My goodness, there are so many teams in play in this final game. And my goodness, they all have a say on the leaderboards. Remember, Aqua and Stompy need a 20-point-plus game. And with Andalex and Nate here, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be 30 or something. And I don't think that I've seen their name pop up in the feed quite yet. So this endgame is going to be ridiculous. They do have the RPGs, Andalex and Nate, to also put the question to them. And nobody in that top 10 that we were following gets zoned. It's literally across the entire way. And remember, Mitro did not have the vault, so no guaranteed launch pad after Nate and Andalex took him out. The Stompy and Aqua have one. They might be able to build over towards that. They do, and they launch instantly like we've seen in every single time, and this matters so much. Nate, he doesn't realize how much it matters, because that's Aqua and Stompy, and only one tag is going to mean that they're probably poised to take height in this final game.
And I don't think that launch pad can be reused. People are trying to go for it. It might be good for Nate and Andalex here because they get some free shots. It's up there, but it's a bait from Stompy and Aqua, who know exactly the trajectory that people will launch themselves off with. Andalex staying up top for just a hot second. That's all he has left until the zone starts to move. Gets ice with a big one pump. And they won't be able to find the finish off of it completely. They might be able to, as you see a little bit. Nope, he's going to leave him behind. Move all the way forward, low ground style. And him and Nate have a boost up to 48 points, currently in the lead.
By the way, just have to point it out, it was Ice who was contesting him at the beginning of the tournament. Poetic. Queasy fell on the launch pad from where he was trying to go, and same with Trulex. So it's done. Andalex and Nate were already in the lead, and they have now, Trulex could still make it in, but I highly doubt it. He has a lot of materials to work with, but no teammate is going to be for certain, and he does actually break line of sight with the mountain. He could still make it in, but wasting so many materials, got to switch to wood. It's going to take the time to hopefully pop this big pop, but no, there is no time. There is no hope. Stompy and Aqua, by the way, have gone all the way down onto low ground, I believe, unless my eyes deceive me. No, they're right there at the bottom. Queasy, in the meantime, did get knocked by Verox, who I believe possibly got that point. Now he has to find the time to pop this big pot. And then he still could have a say, but I don't think there is a say, as the entire lobby knows right now, Trulex. Actually, he builds himself a nice box. Perfect way to get away from this. Pops both big pots, and he has zone 2.
And I want to see if we get a wide shot of eventually of exactly who's alive here, who's where. We switch back over to Nate and Andalex. Have to remember, Rasco and Artur are still here as well, playing their win condition, just being silent, looking for a chance to get some low ground elims later on and move up, because one duo is basically out. Chulex could try to take some placement away from other duos, but now it's Aqua and Stompy on height. Nate is there looking for a shot in. These relationships are still ongoing. Somehow from low all the way up top, they find a backup plan. And stuck in Storm, Nate is going to pop up a Slurpfish. These guys are on the brink, and it might look like their game's almost over.
What?
They have so many mats for being slightly a bit too economic, taking so much damage. They're low now, finally find a launch, but they're so weak in the air. Luckily, don't get shot. They move over. Have 1,000 mats on Nate, probably the same on Andalex. Finally online, but they're going to have to find a lot of siphons to finish out this game.
Yeah, and they land on Verox and Mexi, who we know don't necessarily have too much in the ways of floppers or anything like that, but Stompy and Aqua are starting their rise to the top if they can do that. They've already gotten 3 eliminations that I've seen in the feed. They need so many more, and they also need to stop Nate and Andalex right here, right now, and the minigun pressure does go in. Kubex finds Trulex, so that's the end of that rise, and it is done. Raxo and Artar is still down on low ground by themselves, and a full duo in the making. A full duo could rise up. Kubex, by the way, and Cam here at 37 points too. Andalex down to Raxo. The third place team takes out the first.
They're still moving up. Kubex is trying his hardest as well. So low, Cammy going down. Kubex on the last brink, the final HP slot of his inventory. Buhai going down. That's 10th place to Nate. He's still trying to survive as Andalex goes away. And suddenly, everything looks possible. Nate, though, in a clutch situation. Sui is also moving up the boards. Ray is trying to find a way of his own to come through. Nowhere finally taken out. Legendary getting some picks as well. Here's Nate looking for shots, doesn't find them. Verox alive on low ground. On height, you can hear the minigun ringing. It's time for everyone to go down and possibly try to survive. Clement and Kaizen are here too.
But Nate's going to hold on. If he doesn't fall out of placement, he's basically negating everybody else's placement points at the top of the leaderboard. And RPG is going to land on Raxo. I don't know if it did. Raxo and Artur, they clean up. Kubex in zone, 43 points now for them. He has a grappler as well, but the minigun's still spraying out. Verox at the same time, chiming in as Hillel, because he has a couple of eliminations for himself. Kubex finally goes down, but Raxo's still alive. And there it is, the end of that one, 47 points.
And Verox is here, Kaizen finding things, Dako's still alive trying to find a way in. It's absolute pandemonium in Game 6 with every possible duo in the top 15 finding points, finding placement, and a way to live. Although now it's a final 2v2 with, I think, Buhai and Anas trying to find their way up against Stompy and Aqua at 40 points. If they get both these picks and the finish, that's 45, although not first, can move so high up in the placement thresholds. And I think Buhai and Anas are also up here in points. So whoever wins this gets the higher placement. It's stakes on the line, and the Kings of Height are here trying to hold things down. Anas is trying to flopper play in the storm. It is not possible. Can these messiahs fulfill the prophecy of a back-to-back win in games 5 and 6? Here we go. Stompy on height. Aqua, with the big support of the minigun, are surviving. I think finally in the storm, Buhai goes down. So it's all up to Anas, and it's a 2v1 that drops down. The classic story is fulfilled in game 6. Aqua Stompy living the whole way through, find a way all the way to the top spot and win it out.
Prophecy fulfilled. Aqua and Stompy are the bearers of that, and they win in the final game to put themselves at 45 points. But yes, you said it, probably not enough to overtake Andalex and Nate? I say it with a question mark, with a big question mark at the end, because Raxo and Artur were there towards the end. Same with, I mean, the second place team as well. Everybody, Cuisine Trulex, had a say on that game, and we're in towards the end. I could not have asked for a better final game, and we are ready to reveal the standings for EU Grand Finals. Let's reveal them. And let's show who won this game. You called it. Here it is. The winners of the European region. Let's go. Let's go from bottom to top and reveal. No, we're just going to go everybody at the same time. It is Andalex and Nate, and they hold on. 53 points at the end of it with the win and all the eliminations.